Just wait for it to start. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you once again for joining the class today. Today we'll be covering Unit 5 and Unit 6. But before we go ahead, I know that some people, I graded some assignments, especially the assignment from last week. I did those grading. And I just wanted to highlight one thing. For every of the assignments, if you're going to get the full mark that is allotted to that assignment, bottom line first is that nobody gets 100%. So it's either 98 or 97. If you're going to get that full marks, then you have to do the assignment exactly the way the questions are asked and what you're supposed to submit. When I say submit the link to your site or the link to a form using the answer sheet, which is the attachment that comes with the question, then you should open it and submit it inside of it. If I say you should send screenshots, then send screenshots. All of these are not necessarily because these are things that I want you to do just for doing sake. They are things that I know would help you use the requisite acquire the requisite knowledge and use the requisite technology that is provided. Being able to submit screenshot, being able to attach a document. So please make sure, excuse me, sorry. What's the name? Drink and give it back to you. All right, so it's necessary that we follow exactly what we've been asked to do. In that way, you would be able to get the full marks. But if you don't, then there will be deductions in your marks. So I wanted to make sure that that is well understood and that we all follow the required procedure when it comes to submission of assignment. I have started grading the assignment for week 3. I've graded some, but I've not released the grade yet. I should finish grading before the grades are released. Anyways, that's where we would, that I just wanted to bring that up before we continue. For some of us that are posting questions that you cannot do groups on your phone or you cannot do sites on your phone, unfortunately, Google Sites and Google Groups are browser-based. So if you're using a phone, you could as well use the browser on the phone. And I think somebody had mentioned in previous classes that there's a way you can set your phone to allow you use the browser rather than the app. Because by default, phones will push you to using the app. But I think they said there's a way you can set the phone to to allow you use the browser for some of the things. So Google Sites, Google Sites, Google Groups are all browser-based. They are not app-based, so you won't find the app for those ones on Google Sheet on your phones. All right, having said that, we're going to go straight into today's class. So today we'll be covering Unit 5 and Unit 6. And this Unit 5 talks about organized activities for yourself and others. Keep track of your Google Class schedules and appointment using Google Calendar. So we'll be focusing on Google Calendar. When you create a Google account, it automatically gives you a calendar that you are able to work with. And so you are able to see the calendar that you would work with. And so that's where we will start from today. We'll look at this practical, how to share your calendar, add new calendar, edit calendar, create an event, invite people, appointment slot, set notification, create task, organize task, and print your
Hello,
calendar.
sir.
Those are practicals that we will go through. But what are the reasons for you to need a calendar? A calendar is how you organize both your classroom, your school schedule, your appointments, and all of that. It is necessary for you to be able to use these tools. By default, every time you create a Google Classroom, it automatically generates its own Google Calendar because that's how it keeps track of due dates for assignments and all of the other things that is necessary within the class. With Google Calendar, you can create a calendar for each facet of your lives. So you can have multiple calendar, a personal calendar for yourself, a calendar for
Hello,
grade
sir.
one, a calendar for grade two if you teach multiple classes, and you can plan your timetable. In fact, as a school, you can decide to
Ah,
plan all your class, your school calendar um, on. You can plan your school timetable on Google Calendar.
hello, sir.
Um, One of the use cases could also be that you can have a school-wide calendar. You can call it school calendar. It could be internal, that is meant to organize all your activities within the school, open day, speech and prize giving day, and all of your planning and activity within the school. You can set it up as a calendar. And you can have a public calendar also. And that public calendar you can put on your school's website so that parents and other things um, can, parents and other people amongst your community can see what is happening within the school and they can be aware of events that are happening. You can also set reminders and all of that. You can create calendar for each of your classroom. Like I said, we'll look into that. So these are just practical ways you can use calendar. We'll get back to all of this as practical. You can have calendars for each classrooms, and you can also share your calendar with people. There are three levels of sharing. We'll look at that. People will have full access to your calendar. So, for example, the principal can have a secretary, and he can give the secretary the access to fully access his or her own calendar so that the secretary will be able to plan um, events or plan appointments and manage his appointment like a PA. So that's also possible. I just want to run through these slides. We have done most of these questions before. Organize activities for yourself and others, get more organized. We'll look at Google Task, which is a very good tool. We'll take time to look at Google Task and we'll do practical on that. And then we'll look at Google Keeps. So three applications we'll be looking at today: Google Task, Google Keeps, and Google Calendar under the calendar aspect. Let me just run through these and see if there are any other lesson check. Then we'll jump to Unit 6. As I speak more and more about this, I would present to you a lot of use cases that would allow you know how best to use this and in which scenario would you be able to use this. I'm skipping these questions because most of these questions are exactly the same questions that you would have attempted when you were on the Google LMS. All right, so we'll just go straight into the practicals. As usual, Google Calendar can always be found from when you open your email, you click on the Google Apps, you will be able to find the Google Calendar. And this is what is called Google Calendar. So from here, you can access your calendar. You can also access your calendar by just typing calendar.google.com. That's the same address. So from your email, you can access the calendar, and from your um, from the web browser, you can also access the calendar. When I say from your email, I'm talking about uh, directly from your email, actually. So you can see on the side here, you can also access the Google Calendar as a preview mode, and you can also open it directly. So there are three ways that you can quickly access your calendar. One is through the Google Apps icon. Second is when you open your email on the right hand side of your email, you will see the calendar app. And third is by going to the browser and just typing google.calendar.com. All right. Somebody's saying I'm confused. I don't know what's the confusion about. All right. Okay, so first let me open a student profile so that we can work with students directly. Let me see which student it is. Student 4, that's good. Okay, so I want to start with student 4. I'm using student 4 because I've not used that before. When you create an account, you already have your calendar, and that calendar is your personal calendar. It's underneath, it's under your name, and you are able to use it. Click on calendar, and the calendar app opens up. For the first time, you will see all of these steps. You just need to close that so you've got it. So on the left-hand page, again, you can decide which format you want with appearance that you prefer. All right, so on the left-hand side, you will see the create icon. Will come to that. You would also see the calendar, a full date calendar by month, and you can scroll December, January, and all of that. At the top here, you can change your calendar format. Right now, it's in today, and it is showing by day. You can see here is week long. You can change it to month or week, or you can change it to year, and you will be able to see. If you are not able to see my screen, I think it's from your end, just maybe exit and join back again. So I'll put it by week so that I can see the weekly schedule. And so that's this interface. Here, we'll come to task later on when we see this. And settings is where you have different settings for the overall calendar. You can click on settings and you will see all of this. Language, region, you can change the language and region of your calendar, but we'll also see how to access that calendar, that settings from another way. At the here, you can search for people. If you want to subscribe to other people's calendar, especially if they've opened it up, so you can search for people here. So I can search for you can see I can search for people directly from here, and you'll be able to search for those people and play around with their calendar and set up a meeting with them. So I want to meet with Rotimi. I can set up a meeting with him directly, select a time and do that. Another thing you can do here is you can set up a booking page. If you want people to book an appointment with you or with your secretary, you can set up a booking page by clicking on this, and you'll be able to set up booking page. These are not necessary for the exams, but I just want to walk us through. Excuse me. So you can set up your working hours. I want it to be, I just want this booking. I want people to book me only, it repeats every 5 weeks, or it repeats every week from November to so. And then I can say my working hours, Monday to Friday, is 9 to 5. Time, scheduling window that people can book me only 60 days in advance, or the least time they can book is 4 hours before time. So you can set all of this, and when you share the link, people will be able to book appointments with you. So this might also be good for you as you do your side businesses. Maybe you're consulting or you're teaching, and you have a website and people can book appointment with you. You don't have to use paid application to do that. If you have Google, you can directly just set up a booking schedule for yourself. You want to do parent-teacher conference, you can set up a booking schedule and parent will book time slots for you. and be able to meet you. All right, so at the bottom here, you will see other calendars by default, but this is your own calendar and this is your space. So let me rush through since we've seen most of these. Every calendar you see, you can see that this is student 4, and then there is birthday, and then there is task. We'll talk about task later on. Birthday is just a general calendar that comes. And because student 4 is in camp 4, you can see camp 4 calendar. Like I said, every Google Classroom has a calendar. So you'll be able to see that calendar and have access to events happening within that class. If there is any event happening within that class, you will find those events. So for example, you can see that the GCE Camp 4 calendar is, the color is brown. This activity is for that class. You can see that attendance was due November 9th. So that was the last attendance. That's when it became due. Today is Saturday. If you see, your assignment was due like 30 minutes ago. So the classroom has a calendar and everybody can see it so long as you belong to that classroom. And like I mentioned, you can also create calendar. Your student, especially if your school have access to technology, you don't have to hand them physical calendars. You can plot your class timetable as a whole school timetable, and student will be able to see what time to what time they have different subjects, and it will be well populated in their calendar here. And they can have multiple calendars within the calendar interface. Now, so this is the student 4 calendar. All right, so let's go to what the task is for us. All right, so first of all, is to share calendar. Now, by default, you have your own calendar, and that is a default calendar you will always find there. You will find your name. So this is student 4. How do you share your calendar? Sharing your calendar means you are giving access to people to see your calendar, to view your calendar, so they can subscribe to your calendar and be part of your calendar. You can click on the 3 dots beside the calendars. If you click on that 3 dots, you will see settings and sharing. It's the same thing if you come here, you are in this calendar. If you come to the top here, you will see settings. It will bring you to the same to the same thing. 3 dots. You can also from here change the colors of the calendar. Then I click on settings. This is the name of the calendar, the description of the calendar, the time zone. My calendar is Singapore time zone. Owner of the calendar means the owner, student 4. Then the domain. You can share with, so there is no other person that have access to this calendar. Only student 4 has access to the calendar. To share this calendar with others, all you need to do is just click on add. So you can add students, teachers, you can add one person, you can add a group of people. So let's see if I can add camp 4. You see, I have camp 4. So I can share my calendar with the entire class and everybody will be able to see my event. Then what access do I want to give that person? So I'm sharing it with camp 4 and then I'm sharing it with Rotimi. So now you can add as many people as you want. The next thing is what kind of access do you want them to have? That's where you have permission. So I can decide I want them to see only free/busy. They will not see any other thing apart from only the times that I am busy or that I am free. And they will not be able to see details. So if they need to book an appointment with me, they will see how busy I am. I can allow them see all events, everything that is happening in my calendar. I can allow them see. I can allow them make changes to my events. If you want to have a PA handle your scheduling, this is what you will give them. Make changes to events. So that means they can book events they can they can arrange activities for you. Make changes and manage sharing is the full access, meaning they can also share your calendar with other people. You don't want to allow that, except if it is a secretary you want to give full access to. All right, so I'm going to say I want you to see my account. When I send, emails will be automatically sent, uh, and then we'll see how that goes. Here, I can make this calendar available in public, means anyone that can search for my calendar will be able to find it. Make available to tech-enabled community, show calendar info, other Google app limited by this calendar. So that's basically how to share. But more so, you can also get a shareable link. So if I click on this link, I get this link. I can pass this link to anybody. And once they click on that link, they will be able to subscribe to my calendar. I'll show you how that works. So even if I don't invite them like I did here, I can send them a shareable calendar link and they will be able to subscribe to my calendar. You can set default notification. You can add multiple notification. Okay, every 10 minutes before my appointment, I want you to notify me. And I can choose what sort of notification I want. So I say I want notification is going to be a pop-up, 10 minutes, but I also want you to email me 30 minutes or 1 hour before my appointment. So every appointment I have, 10 minutes to the appointment, 30 minutes to the appointment, I'll get an email. 10 minutes to the appointment, I will get a pop-up notification. And here, you can also set some other things that you want and how you want the calendar to communicate with you based on the activities within the calendar. So that's how you share calendar and all of that. So once you've made all of those settings, it saves automatically. All of these things here are just different sections of the calendar. Now, let's go to me as a teacher. So you see if I got a notification. So I've been invited, you can see, accept your notification to join share calendar for student 4. But before I do that, let me see first if I have student 4 in my calendar as a teacher. You will see that I do not have it. These are all the calendars that I am subscribed to. I do not have it. So let's see what happens when I accept that invitation. That's what it means to subscribe to a calendar. So I join the shared calendar. Once I do that, then I would add that calendar to my schedule. And immediately I'll be able to see student 4. And you can see any schedule on student 4 calendar, I'll also be able to see it here. So that's how you share calendar, and that's how you subscribe to a calendar. If I don't want to see his calendar anymore, I click on this, I click on the sharing of that calendar, and I can go to the bottom and unsubscribe. Once I unsubscribe to that calendar, it will automatically disappear. So I can subscribe to all of the calendars that I have here, and they will automatically disappear from that. So that's how you share your calendars. Add new calendar, edit calendar. All right, so let's go to how do you add new calendar and why would you add new calendar? Let's say, for example, I am a teacher and I'm a maths teacher. I teach grade 1 and grade 2 maths. Grade 1 has 3 arms, grade 2 have 3 arms. And I have different kids. I have a Google Classroom for them, or I want to create a timetable for them or get them to interact with me on my calendar and plan events. Rather than mess up all of this thing into my own personal calendar, I can then create a calendar for each of the class. So we're going to create a calendar for example, excuse me, the mentoring class I'm having. So create a calendar is just to, sorry. So come up here, click on create, and then you create event types. create new calendar, sorry. Under other calendars, you click on this and you create a new calendar. Create a new calendar, I'm going to call it mentoring class. All right. That's my calendar as a mentoring class. You give it a description. If it does have a description, you choose the time zone and the owner. Remember, I am creating it as a student. That's why the owner is a student. The next thing I do is just to create the calendar. Now, that calendar is being created. Once it is created, monitoring class calendar is successfully created. Let me configure it. To configure it, it's simply to go to the settings like we've shown. You can go to that by going to the calendar itself. You will see, look at it, mentoring calendar. Now, it has two of them, three of them has blue colors. So I'm going to change the color to this. And then this, I will change this color to red, for example. So those are how to change colors. Again, I'm going to click on this calendar and click on site sharing. So this is where it brings you to. If I want to invite people to it, I do the invitation. I can decide to make it public, and anyone that has that knows the name of the calendar can search for it. So it's public, or I can get a shareable link. So I'll get this shareable link now. So I didn't share it with myself as a teacher, but I got the shareable link. So let's look at how to use shareable link to access a calendar. All right. Or I'll start by first looking for search for subscribe to calendar, and I can search for mentoring. Let me see to okay, I can search for students and then add their calendar. So that's how you add calendar by searching. But what I want to do is I got the clickable link and I paste it. It will bring me to this calendar and ask me, do you want to add? And then I will click on add. And immediately you see that calendar is added. So that's how you use clickable to add yourself to calendar. So you can either share the calendar or get the clickable link, send it to people, and they will be able to subscribe to your calendar. Right? Edit a calendar. I think we already did that, but to edit any calendar is just to click on the three they call this ellipses, three dots beside it. Then you're sharing. All of these functions are things that are available for you to edit, whichever way you want to edit it. You can edit the calendar that way. One more thing that I think I should share with you. You might want to, maybe you are subscribed to a school calendar or some other calendars. You can decide, okay, I want this calendar to email me daily agenda. So at the beginning of every day, it will send me an email of all the agenda that I have for that day. This might even be good for you as a teacher or for you as a student. And at the beginning of every day in the morning, depending on the time, I think mine sends to me at 6 a.m. It tells me all of the activities or appointments that I have for that day. This is how you set those notifications. Create a new event. Now, what is the essence of calendar? It's about planning events. Everything you see on, let's go to sleep. So everything you see in here is everything you see here is called an event. You're creating an event. And that's how you set up appointments and different things. So how do you create an event? You go to the particular day where that event is supposed to happen. You double click it. Sorry, let's just go back again. You just click on it. You see it pops up for you. If you want it to have more features, you just click on more option and it becomes big. That's one way to access it, by going into the calendar entry itself, or by clicking on create, and then you can create an event. You can also create an out of office. it will tell you I am out of office from so time to so time. So it will block those times and nobody will be able to book your appointment or book you at those particular time. Let's just go through some of the things we can create here. You can create an appointment schedule, which is this. You can create a working location to tell people at this particular time, I will be working either from home or from office. If you will not be in the office and you are working from home, you can state it there so that if anybody wants to book an appointment with you, they'll know, okay, you are working at home, then this appointment can only be online, not physical. Bear in mind that calendar is not just used to book online appointments. It is also used to book and plan physical appointments so that online appointment means you're meeting on Google Meet. Physical appointment means I'm blocking the time and I would set where we'll be meeting so that we can meet physically. The other thing is you can also create focus time, time you don't want people to disturb you. And you can set do not disturb. And those times would have that period. So maybe you normally have your weekly meeting 9 to 10 a.m. in the morning. You can set that so that nobody disturbs you. All right. So let's create an event. Um, Task, we'll come back to task because that's part of some of the things we'll be doing. So to create an event, you can also, it's the same thing. You click on more option and then it opens up. First, you give the event a title. So we can say, let's say wedding plan, uh, wedding planning. What day is it? So it doesn't matter where on the calendar you clicked, you can always switch the date and always switch the time. So let's say this meeting is going to be for start Monday and the time is going to be 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. You can select a time zone so that you know exactly what time zone. But default is it defaults to the time zone where you're currently located and where you're currently operating. That's where it defaults to. The next thing you need to do is you need to is it an if you set this meeting to be all day, it will remove the time because it means all day, 12 to 12. But it's not an all day meeting, it's 10 to 11 p.m. And let's say this meeting is a meeting that repeats every week. I can say, oh, this meeting repeats every week. It repeats daily or weekly on Monday. It's a wedding plan, and my wedding is 3 months' time, but we want to be meeting every week. The same thing goes to when you're planning your timetable with Google Calendar. If you say period 1 is 9:30 to 8 a.m. to 8:45, that's period 1. It's marked. You can put the room number, put all the details, and you say this period repeats every week. And so it will populate the entire calendar from the start day of the school to the end of the school. And I'll show you how to set that. So we can say this one repeats every Monday, or I can go to custom and say, okay, it repeats once every week on Monday and it never ends, or it starts February 9 or ends. So it starts from this week and ends never or on a particular day. So you can say start at the first day of your school and ends at the last week of your school. And it will automatically plot that. So my wedding is in December. So I'm going to say, sorry, my wedding is not in the day. So I'm going to say December 2025, and it's going to be it's going to be on 31st. So it will end the week of 31st, the Monday. So immediately I do that, it puts that time. Now, I want to now add the notification. Remember when we set notification, the notification I set default shows up here. Email me every 30 minutes before the meeting and send me a notification 10 minutes before that meeting. You can still go ahead and add more notifications here. If you have more than one calendar, you can now choose which calendar. Remember, I am student 4, but I also have a mentoring class calendar. So I want all my mentees to attend my wedding because they are the ones planning my wedding, not. So I'm going to put it in the mentoring class calendar because all of them have given them access to it. What else can you do? I can add a document, maybe the wedding schedule and the wedding plan, our meeting notes. I can add a document. I can add a link. I can create a note. This create note is not available for the default or for the general or for the free Google account. It's only available for the paid one. You can try it. I don't think it is. So I can create a note here. See note. And once I create this event, it will create a Google Doc and put it in here, and all of us can make meeting notes in there. Um, so all of that are things you can do. If this meeting is going to be online, then you have to click on Add Google Meet Conference. So it will generate a link. But if the meeting is not online, then you don't have to do that. So you generate a link and put it there. And that's all that is remaining now is for you to add guests. Who are the people that are going to come? So I can add all the members of my mentoring class. You see, all the members of my mentoring class will get it. Let me now say also that I want student one. Sorry. So you can type the email address of the people that you want, ttc.com.ng. You can type the address of people that you want to attend. And then we also add myself so that you see how this goes. You can add all of that. Once you're done, you just save. And then it will say, would you like to send an invitation to all of them? Send that invitation and then create and share. So to create and send a notification. You will see here, this is this Monday. If I go to month, let's switch this to month. You will see that every Monday, you'll see I have a wedding plan. If I switch to year, I might not be able to see it all through the year. You won't be able to see it. But every month, I would have that time, and it will send me the notification as you have stated it. Let's now say, oh, next week, the meeting is not going to hold, or we are changing the time. I can now go into next week one by clicking on it. That's how you edit a calendar. I click on the next week one. I can double click on it so that it opens big. And let's say we decide, oh, we're going to meet early next week by 9:30 to 10:30. I'm changing that. When I save it, to ask me, do I want to change it for all the events or just this event or this and the following events? All means both the past and the future. This and the following means this and the ones in the future. Or this only means I'm just changing this. So I want to just change the one for next week, not everything. I click on this. Do you want me to send an update? Yes, you can message. Time is changing. All right. Okay, so you just click on send, and then if you look at it now, this is 10, this is 10, this is 10, but this is 9:30. So that's how you edit. That's how you set up an event within your calendar. Let's see if Rotimi gets invitation, and you will see it. See, wedding planning invitation. Because I am part of the mentoring class, I got an invitation. Oh, no, because I was added directly, I got an invitation that shows me this. So I can decide to say, maybe I'm coming or no, I am not coming. But I'm going to accept it and say yes. But let's check my calendar first, if it is in my calendar. Let's see. Do I have Mondays? Do I have 4 more? You can see wedding planning. You can see that I have it two, wedding planning, because I am part of mentoring class and I am also invited personally. That's why you see it in two places. That's why you see it in two places. So I can either say, oh, I am not able to make it. So I click on no, or I can click on yes, that I'm making it. I click on no, and that's it. Or I can reply also. RSIVP to this person, I can click on no, that I don't want to come. it will ask me to provide more details on if I don't want to come or if I'm going to come. All right, so that's what we need to know about calendars for a start. If I also want to cancel for next week, all I need to do is just click on this. I can say action. I can delete or can delete. It will ask me, do I want to delete just this event or all of them? I want to cancel the meeting for that next week. I just click on delete. Do you want to send a minute? This meeting has been cancelled. So I'll send. And you see, it automatically just leaves that place. You're going to. So create an invite. We've done inviting people. We've done appointment slots, which is what I just showed us. Okay, let's create it. Appointment schedule. I want to create an appointment schedule. I think I walked us through it. Monday, you just set all of that, and people will be able to see those appointments. Set notification. We have also done that. Now let's go to task. Tasks are things that you use to create, as the name is task. You want to assign a task for yourself, or you want to create a task for yourself. You have something that you need to do, an activity that you need to carry out, or you're working together with a group, and you want to assign specific tasks for them so that not only will they get a notification that this task has been assigned to them, but they can also get notifications and reminders of those tasks. So let's look at tasks and see how tasks can easily be created. So to create a task, you can see here that you have a task calendar, so that if there's any task, you'll be able to find it under the calendar. And I can change the color to, let's change the color to a unique color brown, so that it's easily identifiable. Up here, you will see switch to task. So I can switch to task calendar. And this is task. Task can be accessed via email or via your calendar. And you can quickly convert an email. Let's say there's an email that gets sent to me. My boss sent an email to, I'll answer a question after we're done with Unify. My boss sent an email to me, and I want to convert that email to a task. I can do that. So if you switch to task, you just add a task. What is your task? This task is wash my clothes. All right, my clothes. I can put a detail, wash all the clothes house. All right. What is the due date? Is it tomorrow or is it today? I can set a calendar that, okay, I want to do it on Sunday, and I must do it by 11 a.m. Does it repeat? Okay, this is going to be repeat every Sunday by 11 a.m. I should wash my clothes. So I set it to repeat. Repeat every week. Once every week on that particular day. Starts and never ends, because I want to be. So I put on this date done. So every Sunday from November, and then never ends. Click on done. So it creates that task for me. So that's how you do task from your calendar. And you can also find it, and this is contact. So let's switch back to my calendar, and let's go to the task calendar and see if we can find it every Sunday. You can see every Sunday, wash my clothes. You will see it, and it will be there forever, until I tell it to stop. So I can see that I'm supposed to do this every Sunday. And once I do it for, let's say I've done it for this Sunday, I can mark it as complete for that Sunday. I just mark it as complete, and then it strikes it out, saying, okay, this task as we start complete. It's just a way to keep yourself on task. You assign tasks to yourself or to some other people, and they can they can mark it as done once they're done. Let's look at emails. So let's say this email came in. I'm supposed to join or open a Google chat. I can immediately convert this email to a task. I can add this task. Let's just assume this is a notification. My boss says you need to submit report on so date. So he has given me that email. I can just create it as a task that I know I have to complete by so date. So I'm just going to click on it, add to task. When I click on add to task, you see, it automatically just gives me this email invitation to join, detail, join the task, for example, and then the deadline is 29th. I set time to 1 p.m. and then I click on done. So this task has also been added to my calendar. If I go to my calendar, let me see, when did we add it? We say November 29th. So if I go to my calendar and we go to November 29th, you will see, okay, sorry, this is it. Rukaya's chat email. So again, once I'm done, I will be able to click on it. I will see a link that links me directly to that email. So if I come to this task, I can click on it and it will bring me to the email that was the source of that task. So I can read through it, follow up, and then I'll be able to do what I need to do. You will see my task. You'll be able to see my tasks directly from here, all the tasks that I have. You can also open the task page directly from your email. Like I said, you'll find it here. If I open the task page, I'll be able to see the ongoing task that I have. The first task that I completed, I will see it, wash my clothes wash all the clothes in the washing machine. So this is how you set up a task and organize your task. Again, you can also create new lists. So let's say I have house chores. I can create a list called house chores. And everything that has to do with house, I'll put it under house chore. And so under house chore, I'll create all the tasks. Then maybe I can call this one, create another list and call this work stuff. All right, so can add, let's take another email, for example. So I have that. Let's take another email. Let's say this is another email and I want to add it to task. Then I can set which one I want to add it to. Is it work or house? So I'm going to add this one to work. It has been added to work stuff. Let's go to the next one. And then I will add this one to house job. Let's go to the tax tab. You can see them here. So this is how you organize the task. You create different lists, office work, and then you are able to assign them. As a teacher, your use case might be you have, maybe as a student also, you want to use a structure all your stuff. You can create task list for every subject. And when activities comes and you need to do them, you can assign them to that task and use that to manage the task. So that's how you organize tasks. The final thing is, how do you print your calendar? It's pretty easy. Click on settings, and then you click on print. And so it displays for you. So let's say I'm a school now. I have planned the timetable for every grade level by creating a calendar for that grade level and putting what they have on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, according to their period. And I know that they repeat every week. So all I need to do is just print for 1 week, knowing that every week is the same. Print for 1 week and then send it to them. to the student. So if you click on print, it would open the print dialog, and then you can change it to PDF and save it as PDF, and then you send it to. So that's a run through of calendar. I think that's calendar. We've talked about before we ask questions on so we talked about Google Tasks, Google Calendar. Google Tasks allow you to take content of an email message and send it to your Google Calendar. You can create multiple task lists, which is what we did. Now, I want to talk about one more thing before I take questions, and then we'll move to chapter 6. And that is what is called Google Keeps. A lot of us, we have to-do lists. Most times we use it on our phone, or we have different apps to do it. So another tool that Google has that leverages Google Keeps, that leverages task, but you also have it in your hand, is what's called Google Keeps. It's an app. It's available on your phone. It's available on your laptop. It's available on a browser base. And Google Keeps allows you to keep track of events, but much more than that, it also allows you to add images, to add different things to your Google Keeps. So let me show you a practical example of Google Keeps. Google Keeps can be found in 3 ways. The Google Apps, you will see Google Keeps, or from your calendar, you can see it here also. You can see it here. And then from your email also, you can find it on this side of your email. So the few things that you can find on the side of your email is your calendar, your keep, your task, and then contact. On this side, you can find Google Meet, Google Chat, and Google Email. So let's look at Google Keeps. Open it, and then you can open the Keeps. So Google Keeps is like Notepad, where you can take notes, have grocery list, to-do list. Maybe we're planning a conference, we can create a Google Keeps and share it with, invite other planners to be part of it. And we create a checklist of all of the things that we must do for the conference to take place. And then we begin to check them as we progress. To further show you how this works, let me just open one that I know I have used a lot, so that you can see how visual it could be, and you will be able to appreciate that. Let me switch to this account. To Keeps. So you can see you can have a lot. Let me see. I just open this one. You'll be able to keep notes. I'm just showing us an example of how it looks. And on your phone also, you'll be able to see it. You can create a checklist of what you need to do, personal, professional, and all of that. You'll be able to find that. But let's go to the one we're working on. Even with Keeps, you can set reminder. Remember task, you just assign tasks. Keeps expands or extend the usage of tasks. You can set reminders. You can set labels to differentiate different ones. So let's just create a Keeps. To take a Keeps, you just open it and give it a title. I can say grocery list. All right. So here I want to add different, I can add a picture to it. Let's say you can actually add a video. Can you? Okay, it's too big. Yeah, you can't add a video. Sorry. So let's look for a picture. Uh, let's take this picture. You can add a picture. You can see. You can add multiple pictures. I think this would be good to use. Let me use this one. So this is an example of different list. If you click on it, you see even links to YouTube videos or images of YouTube videos. You can add all of that to it. Let's just continue here. You can change the theme, different backgrounds if you want to give a background. So once you do that and you click out of it, it already keeps your list here. The next thing, you can open another one and call it your short list. And this one, I want to change the background to this. I want to set a reminder. Remind me next week. Pick a date and time. I can say November 15th, 21st, 8 a.m. Does it repeat weekly or daily? It sets. So these are tasks, but extended. Tasks, you cannot do so many things, but with this, you can do a lot of things. I can add multiple people to this now. So if I want to I'm going to collaborate with Rotimi and then student. Okay, so I'm collaborating with Rotimi and then collaborating with student one. See that it is. So I have all of these guys that I'm collaborating with. I can add multiple people and I'll save. So they will automatically have access to this list. So if, for example, we're working on something, we can all get online and take notes on these items. Here, I can add a version history. So you can actually go to see the version history. I want to add checkboxes. So I'm making a list, buy soap, then buy Gary, buy, oh, my spelling is bad, tomatoes, and all of that. So I put all of that. I shared it with Rotimi. So let's go over to Rotimi. You can see shopping list. It just came in now. Open note, shopping, Gary, tomatoes. So we're making the list together. I can say, okay, we're going to buy beans. We're going to buy rice. Then if I switch over to this guy, I open it, you can see the same thing. So, and as we buy, we can check that we bought it and we've done all of that. So that is some of the use cases of Google Keeps. Maybe in your class, you have a group project that, and you group students into multiple groups. You can set up a Google Keeps for them to keep track of different stages of their project. The needs of each stage, they state it there, and then they are going through it one by one, crossing it out. And you as a teacher can be part of that to keep track of what they're doing. So apart from personal use, you can use it within your class with group works to also set a time, a workflow for yourself to follow across the term. And it's good for us to leverage on this tool. If you download the app on your phone, you'll be able to see how powerful this Google Keeps tool is. Then you can set label. Label allows you to categorize them separately. You can add drawing too. So all of these stuffs you can do. So let's say I want to add a label. I'm going to call this house runs. All right, that's the label to this one. And then I'm going to call this one, I'm going to add a label, create another label, school runs. So this is school runs, and then this is house run. If I click on label, you see I have these two kinds of label. You can add more labels here and assign labels to each one of them. So you are able to sort them according to label. You can see if I click on house run, I'll only see the list that are under house run. If I click on school run, I'll see the list that is under school run. Works similarly like task, but it extends the usage of task. All right, so These are just practical. I think, let's see. Yeah, you can, the theme is okay, so you can do color codes. Okay. So that's that about Keeps, Calendar, and Google. So take Keeps, Google Calendar, Google Keeps, and Google Task. So we'll go to the next one. But before that, I knew some few people raised their hands and they wanted to ask questions. So we'll give that opportunity now. If you raised your hand and you have questions, let's start with Stephen while we get set for Unit 6.
Thank you very much, sir. Well done. May the Lord strengthen you. Please, my is not a
Yeah.
question, it's just an appeal, sir.
Um,
It's just an appeal.
Stephen, go
My
ahead.
assignment. Yes, I said mine is just an
You
appeal
need to unmute yourself.
concerning the. Yes, I've unmuted myself. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Hello, can you hear me?
Dorcas,
Jesus.
can anyone hear Dorcas?
I think
No,
it's just
sir.
Can't seem to hear anybody. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
We're also hearing the first person that was talking.
We heard Stephen. I don't know why you did not hear him. We
All
heard.
right, go ahead. Sorry, but can you hear
Hello.
me?
Hello, this is Stephen. Can you hear me, sir?
All right, Stephen, go ahead.
All right. Thank you very much, sir.
Hello,
I said,
sir.
may the Lord strengthen you. You are
My
doing a nice
question
work.
is using the Google Keeps.
Let's take it one by one. Stephen first. Dorcas
Mine is
first.
just, it's not a
Stephen
question,
first.
it's just an appeal concerning the assignments. I did my assignment very late. So I was about submitting this afternoon when just discovered that it was already 2 o'clock. So
We can talk about that
ah,
later on. Let's focus on the
all right.
class.
Thank you.
Dorcas. Dorcas, do you have a question there? Okay, Dorcas doesn't have a question.
Dorcas, unmute herself. She didn't unmute herself.
All right,
Hello, can you
Dorcas,
hear me?
unmute yourself. Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. My question is using the Google Calendar in a scenario. I would really love you to give us a question where we can see a scenario where we can use the Google Keeps, Google Calendar, and try it out.
Yeah, you will find that in your assignment for this week.
Okay, thank you.
You'll find that in the assignment this week. All right, any other person? Any other person? Okay. Most of Abel, you have a question?
Thank you, Mr. Rotimi. My question is, if I have 2 Google accounts and I have different calendars on those accounts, is it possible to fuse them to become one so that I can get a single mail?
No, they can't become one. But what you can do is the practical thing you can do. So let's say your 2 accounts is student 4, my account, student 4, and then my teacher account with my own personal account. What I can do in that scenario is to give my first Google account full access, my second, and my second be given full access to my new. And that way, if I this account subscribes to the other calendar. This other calendar subscribes to this other calendar. So that way, no matter what is happening on the calendar of the other one, if I come to one of the calendars, okay, so let's just go into this. So this is my calendar. This is Rotimi's calendar. But I also have access to, okay, I've unsubscribed. Let me just show you what I'm saying practically. So student 4 is my calendar. And then Rotimi Aferimo is also my calendar. And I want to fuse both of them together. It's not possible to fuse them together in the sense that make them one calendar. But it's possible to fuse them all together in the sense that when I go into student 4, I will see also everything in Rotimi's calendar. And if I go into Rotimi's calendar, I'll see everything in student 4's calendar. So I don't have to open the two calendars of the account separately to be able to keep track. So how do I do that? I come into Rotimi and I click on sharing. Then I go to add people. So I add student 4 to Rotimi's calendar. All right. And I can determine which access. If I want to be able to schedule a meeting to Rotimi through student 4, then I will give him the full access like this. And then I'll go to student 4 also and do the same thing for Rotimi. I go here and then I add Rotimi and I give him full access. Okay, so once I do that, I think both of them will get an email. See, accept the invitation to Rotimi. He accepts that Rotimi's calendar, joins Rotimi's calendar, and you see, it says set your working location. And that's not necessary. I'll just keep that. Review and share. So, because I had this timings. So here, student 4 also has Rotimi's calendar. Let me uncheck this. Check this. So in student 4 calendar, everything that is Rotimi will be yellow. You can see yellow, yellow, yellow. These are all Rotimi. And everything that's Malaysia holiday, I'll uncheck this, I'll uncheck this. So student 4 calendar, everything in blue will be student 4. Everything in red, yellow will be Rotimi. So student 4 can schedule a meeting and add it to Rotimi's calendar. See? And so whether I am in Rotimi or in student 4, I can do everything, I can see everything on both calendars, and I can schedule on either of the calendar. That's the only way for you to merge them together. All right. I hope that answers it.
Thank you very much.
Okay. All right. So we just move quickly to this unit. Now, this is going to be fast. For bring student work online, make in-person meeting more effective. We've already done the practicals of this in Unit 5 because it just talks mainly about setting up calendar, individual calendar, inviting individual persons, which we've also done. So we will not go through the practicals here. And true to it, this also doesn't give us any practical. It just explains more in details how to effectively use a Google Calendar. Start meeting with Google Calendar because it lets teams easily share calendar and easily schedule a meeting. Google Calendar will handle invitation and RSVPs for you and send members reminders before meeting, which are all of the things that we practicalize. You can also attach a Google Doc, which I showed you how to attach for meeting agenda or any other accompanying document that you'll be discussing through your meeting. You can add it to the meeting invite so that everybody sees it even before coming to the meeting. So create meeting using Google Calendar, create an event, we looked at that, set the details, we looked at that, adding guests, we also looked at adding guests. RSVP, we did that. Guest options, guest notification, adding Google Doc, we also did all of that. What matters when you are setting a meeting is you must have an agenda, know the people that you are inviting, know the time, add them to your calendar, and get everyone input before meeting to add them to the calendar. It's better you know who you're meeting with, why you're meeting, when you are meeting, and let it be agreed amongst everybody so that you don't set up a meeting and nobody shows up. All right. Clear goals, focus discussion, and on time. Minutes, take minutes of every meeting. Action step, what will be done as a result of what you agreed on within your meeting. All of those things need to be decided to have an effective meeting, and then send the information to everybody at the end of the day. So these are just practical. Sorry, these are just descriptions. More explanation into the things that we've spoken about earlier on. These are lesson checks. All right. Using Google Meet to hold meetings everywhere. Google Meet is what we're using right now, and a lot of us already have access to it. But you can start Google Meet either by accessing it through the Google Classroom, like we've always done, or you can also use Google Meet by going to the app and you will see Meet. So Meet, you find it by going through the app, or you can type meet.google.com, or from your email on the side here, you can also click on Meet and it will still bring you to the same interface. So you can access Meet from the Google apps, from the browser by going to meet.google.com, from your email, even from your calendar. You can access Meet also from your calendar, if I'm not mistaken. Is it? Yes. So when you plan an event, you have to, if the meeting is going to be online, you have to, in sending the invitation out, you have to add the Google Meet link. Otherwise, it will just be an entry on your calendar, and people will not be able to join the meeting. So let's see. So we're going to create a meeting. We're going to create a meeting, schedule a meeting. We don't just go through quickly all of this and see how that goes. So to make this happen, I might be starting a meet from another window so that we can go through all of this. So create a meet. How do you create a meet? Again, we didn't say create a calendar. It's create a meet. So you go to the meet, let me use Google. Let me use the student account. And I will just go to oops. Sorry. All right, let's open Meet.
Please go and sit down. Just go and sit down.
All right, I need to get it. So to create a Meet is just to click on New Meet. You will see start an instant meeting means you want to start immediately, and you will send the link directly to people. But if you want to create a Meet, you can create a Meet, or you can even schedule it in Google Calendar. So those are the three options. You can start from Google Calendar, which is what we've shown before. You can start instantly. Let's say somebody is ready to meet with you now. You just fire it up, send them the link, and they can join. Then the next is you can create a Meet for letter. Let's click on this. You want to create a Meet for letter. You've copied it. You can send the link to somebody, and they'll be able to join at a particular time. I send you the link and say, okay, let's join in 30 minutes. I don't want to schedule a calendar invite, but I don't also want to start the meeting now. We're going to meet in 30 minutes. We've agreed, no need of calendar invite. I can just copy the link, send it to you on WhatsApp, and the meeting time starts. We all click on the link and we join immediately. Now, I can also start a meeting instantly. When I start a meeting instantly, I'll use my microphone, use because I'm using a browser, uh, and I'm using camera, all of that. So I've started the meet, but nobody has joined yet, right? So what I can do is I can um, copy the full details and send it to another person, and the person will join. So what I will do is I'll I'll join from my phone using another account so that you can see how it looks, and then we can use this to demonstrate all of the different settings that we need to go through. So I'll copy this link. If let's say for example, um, I send you a meet, I can send you a code to that meet, and you'll be able to use that code to join. The link that I copy, you can just click on join and copy that link and paste it there, and you'll be immediately able to join that meeting. Or by just clicking on the link, you'll be able to join. So what I will do is I'll copy this link now. I'll open, let me see, let me quickly open my WhatsApp so that I can access it from my phone. And then I would join that same meet from my phone. Okay, while this is loading. Remember, this is our own meet. Our own meet is separate. We're on our own meet, but I'm just starting a meet um, for the testing. So the link has been copied. Let's see if my WhatsApp. Set it something. Let's just schedule a meet. So we've created a meet, we've scheduled a meet. Then Gmail Classroom Meet. Um, all of us already have access, or we've done one or two things from the Classroom Meet by just going to join here from your phone. On your phone, you will see an icon like this, and then you can join. So that's how you join Meet on phones. Okay, this is done now. Let me just uh, send it to myself. That is the Meet. So I will join it from my phone now, and then you will see join it from my phone. Switch account. Join. So you can see. So this is me and student 3. Now, so we're running two different Google Meets, and I want to just. So what are the things we need to check? Join a meet. I showed us how to join a meet. Call into a meet. Now, this is not. If you want to use your, if you think you're so rich, you want to use more. You have money to burn. You can copy. You can see a phone number. Then you call from you take your phone and dial this phone number, and you'll be able to join the meet. So let's say you have so much money, you do rather than use data, you decide you want to booga, you want to use your phone and call. You can carry your phone number and dial this number, and then you join the phone, and then you burn some money. Um, or maybe let's say you are going to an area where there is no internet, but you need to join the call. You can call in with your mobile phone and you can dial. I don't know if Nigerian mobile phones, mobile numbers allows you to do that, but you can also do that. The use case mostly will be maybe you're in transit, there's no internet, or you have network for mobile call, you can call in. So that's what that is. Add people. So I want to add additional people to the call. I just go here and search for more people and then add them. So you can add other people to this call and they'll be able to join. You see, you can also call them and then they pick up and then they can join. So that's how you add people to the call. How do you add people to the call? You click on the people icon and then you add people. You can send additional invite by just typing their email address. They'll get an invite, click on the link, and then they'll be able to join the call. That's it. What's the next one? Change layout. Okay, so you can change the layout by adjusting the view. How do you want it? Spotlight, sidebar, um, how many tile you want to add. Um, Automatic means it will arrange them. If you have more and more people, to keep shrinking the boxes. Title, legacy, spotlight will spotlight and take everybody out. Maybe I should stop there. This one. Okay. Sidebar, and then hide tiles without video. So if a lot of people join and you only want to see people with videos and you don't want to see blank images, you can remove everybody that doesn't have their video on. And so the screen will have only video people, only people that have their video turned on. Let's see. Okay. All right. So that's how you do the remove people. So let's say I'm angry with somebody now. You just kick him out. There are two people in this call. So I can remove from call. I can make him a viewer. He is just going to be able to look. He cannot chat. He cannot do anything. That's making a view. You can add him as a co-host. Means he's able to present. Don't watch means his video is not available. You don't want to monitor that person. And so those are the options that are available in terms of removing user. Present or share screen is as simple as you click on this icon here. I don't know if you can see it. This is the share screen icon. So I want to share screen within this call. The beauty of sharing screen is that share an entire screen. When you share your entire screen, it allows you to move from one tab, one application to the other within that screen. Okay. If you share window, you are picking only one window. Let's say you have Google Chromes, Google Slides, so many other things open. When you say share window, you can see I have 3 different windows. I have my WhatsApp. So these are my 3 windows. I have WhatsApp, I have Google Classroom, and I have this call. So if I say clear window, share window, I can decide to share my WhatsApp. And if I share my WhatsApp, then it's only my WhatsApp that will be seen on the window. You can see. It's only my WhatsApp that is seen. But if I decide I want to stop that, I want to share screen. Share screen allow me go. So I'm using 2 screens now. So I will select try the screen. So screen 1. I'll select screen. It's supposed to be. It's supposed to be screen. So if I select, let me just share screen 2. I select entire screen. I'll share screen 2. Share. Okay, so if I switch this, I switch this from that screen, I can move on to something else. See, I can everything that is happening on my screen, you are able to see. If I open something else, you'll be able to see it because I'm sharing that entire screen. But if I share a window, then it's only one window amongst all the windows that I'm opening within that screen that will be visible. So that's the difference with that. Let me stop sharing. Again, the next one is let's share tab. So sharing tab means I can have multiple tabs open here. Let's just say I have this one, I have this one. So if I want to share tab will list all the tabs that I have open. It is only when you share tab that you will be able to push out audio. You cannot push out audio when you share window. You'll see there is no, to share window, share a tab instead. You cannot share window and get your audio out. You cannot share entire screen and get your audio out. You can only get your audio out when you share a tab, and that's when you have the audio option. So you want to play something online through your video call, remember you have to share a tab, and that's when you'll be able to get the audios out. If you don't, you won't be able to do that. So these are all the options for sharing. Um, all right. View meeting details is as good as clicking on the eye, and then you'll be able to see your meeting details here. Chat message is pretty easy. You click on here, then you can chat to people. And then from this side also, I can say hi. So that's how you chat to people. As the next one, record meeting. Record meeting is as, all right. So for Google, the recording is a paid function. So that's why you will not see record here, because it's a paid version. I can record on my own personal account because that single account I'm paying for it. And so I can record and put it in the cloud. It records because Google Meet records directly to your OneDrive. So it's part of a paid service. You cannot record with the generic account. Use caption. You want to add caption to your, that's when you're doing recording, you'll be able to record and use caption. Let's see if there's any other one. Let's go. Notification. To settings. So caption, you go to setting, you can see live caption. When you choose live caption, it will start talking about, it will start displaying what you're saying. That's how you set caption or no caption. You can, if let's see which language, if you're speaking different language, if you can speak Zulu, because that's the only African language. You can speak, yeah. So you choose which language and it will begin to translate you. So how do you want your caption to show? You can decide if you want it to be large, small, tiny. Font size, you can choose the font size. Color, you can choose the color. Background color, you can choose the background color. So let's just change, I want to change the background color to green, and I want it to be, so, and I want this one to be cursive. I want it to be medium. Then I can change this to live caption. So as I talk, you can see the background is green and it's cursive. So that's how you, but this green background doesn't make sense. So let's change the background to white. White also doesn't make sense. Let's change it to yellow. Oh, it doesn't make sense. Let's change it to black. Okay, so it makes sense. All right, so that's how caption works. Use case for this is if you have people that don't understand your language but they can read, or you're in a conference call with an Indian or a Chinese and their language is not their English is somehow, you can use caption. That's trusting that Google can also understand their pronunciation. Yeah, so that's how this works. It's under settings. Go back, take it out. So, caption. Reaction, you can turn it on and turn it off, emojis and all of those stuff. Audio settings, video settings. All of that is also under settings. You click on, or you can go here and change your different video source. You can change your background as you want. Background effect, you can choose different background effects. Um, Person will be able to see that. What else? Okay, let's go to audio and sound. You can start from here and go to settings. It will bring you still here. Audio, you can choose which kind of resolution. Uh, then that's for video. Audio, you can choose your output and all of that, how you want your voice to go out, and how you want to receive what you're doing, what you're receiving. Video, general settings, desktop notification, leave empty calls, removes you from a call after a few minutes if no one else joins. So all of these are just settings that are available that you can always play around with. Keyboard shortcuts, we don't have to deal with that because let's see, there's an option here. There's an option for that. Use phone audio, background effect. Open picture in picture. Picture in picture allows you to, if you want to focus on your screen and have the entire meet. Okay, sometimes some people don't like seeing this show up here, so they will want to take it to one side so that they can focus on what they are sharing. If that is how you want things to go, then you can do picture in picture. So let's see how picture in picture goes. So you see, it takes this and puts it very small, and now I can focus on whatever it is that I am sharing. So let's say I'm sharing this. I can take this to another screen. I can remove it and take it to another screen. And so I can be watching people from another screen while I focus on the screen that I am sharing. That's picture in picture. Okay. What else? Extension and Google Meet tips. All right, let's look at extension. Extension are things that allows you extend Google Meet. There are some things you might not be able to do with the generic Google Meet, just like you have extension in Google Works, Google Docs, Google Slides, Google Forms. You also have extension in Google Meet. And the way to go to your extension, thankfully we already opened it, is Chrome's web store, and then you click on extension. You can sort. You can look at extensions that works with Google Meet. I think we can end this meet because this. So extension that works with Google Meet. Google Meet breakout. Breakout rooms are paid services. So extensions allows you to do breakout without paying for it. The generic Google Meet comes with a breakout session. It doesn't come with breakout session. You have to pay for it. So the one that I'm using for our classes are paid. So I have breakout rooms. I can do breakout rooms, but for the generic ones, you cannot do breakout rooms. That is why it will be good for you to get plugins that allows you to do that. And how do you just get plugin? You just click on it, and then you add to Chrome. And so when you start your Meet, you can now leverage that to do breakout rooms. There are a lot of other plugins that works with Team. Google Meet also, the paid one is the one that takes attendance. That is why I can generate spreadsheet at the end of the call. It generates a spreadsheet of everyone that joined, when they exited, and the number of hours or minutes they spent in the call. The generic unpaid account cannot do that. So you can leverage all these plugins to do that for you. Google Meet attendance list. So this one takes attendance. Some of them might be free, some of them might be for pay. Can At one point when during COVID, you could not you could not see on Google Meet more than up to 49 people. And so people designed um, extension that allows you have 9 by 9 or 7 by 7 grid, and then extend the grid. So there are a lot of different plugins that you can leverage on to extend the features within Google itself. So I think that's where this um, ends. Let's see. All right, how can you initiate? So this I just lesson check for unit 5. Let's see, we have for unit 6. Yeah, we have 15 more minutes for the class. I think we're right on board now. So I'm going to end this secondary meet that we are having. Just get back to our normal class. Then we'll begin to round up and maybe take a few more questions. All right, so basically that is it for unit 6 and unit 5 and unit 6. Next week we'll do unit 7. That talks more about collection of assignment, organizing student work. We'll be looking at Google Sheets and how you can analyze those data, give and receive feedback, collect assignment effortlessly. So here in this unit, we'll be focusing on Google Classroom itself from start to finish. And that's lesson 7. Let's look at 8. Let's see what we can cover in 8. What happens in 8? Bring your work online, assign work easily. That's Google Classroom. And then unit 8 is online collecting assignments. All of this will be in depth. This is providing feedback. Okay. Yeah. Lesson 7 is quite huge too, but we've covered a few parts of that. And as you have done your assignment to some extent, you also have encountered some of the things we'll be going through in Unit 7. So Unit 8 will now focus on, you have done all the assignment, how do you measure student progress, analyze student progress, and tell the story of those growth. This is where we look at Excel formulas, Excel document, Excel features within Excel, bar chart, pie chart, and graphs to analyze results that you've gotten from your student as a result of all the assignments that they've turned in. Right, so that's what we'll be focusing on next week. And so we'll do 7 and 8 next week. So that means we have 3 more classes to go. Hoping that by the first week of December, we would round up and then we can begin to write our exams. I know within the class, I made some promises to be posting, I think I have forgotten, to post links to test questions. So I will do that now as part of, so we've done unit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'll post these questions. You can start practicing them to get you prepared. I'll post that into the class as part of my announcement. That would come from the announcement that will come when I post the question. So I put it as draft so that I can be able to do that again. Put it so each unit has 30 questions. So unit 1 and 2 have 60 questions. So unit 3 and 4 has 60 thereabout questions. So it's to allow you continue to prepare yourself for the exams while you also do the practical. So I'll put this up, and every week I'll be adding the one for that week to it, just so you are getting ready for the exams before um, we begin to round up. All right, let's take a few questions while I sort out what's it called, the attendance.